Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about something we all deal with, procrastination and motivation, or more like the lack of it. Honestly, I've been meaning to make this video for like a week, so yeah, I procrastinated making a video about procrastinating. But yeah, let's be real here, procrastination isn't about being lazy. Like, yeah, sometimes we're just tired and want to chill, but most of the time, we actually do care about the thing we're avoiding. That's the weird part, whether it's schoolwork, going to the gym, starting a creative project, or even just cleaning your room. You want to do it, but your brain just taps out sometimes. And the worst part is, the longer you wait, the heavier it feels on you. You start feeling guilty for not starting. And that guilt becomes the thing that drains your energy. So you don't do it and the cycle keeps going. I've had so many nights where I just sat there, fully aware I needed to do something, but I just scroll, watch videos, or zone out. Like my body was in chill mode, but in the back of my mind I know that I have stuff to do. So this has happened to me a lot, so much so that at this point, I'm basically a procrastination expert. Now, does that mean I don't always get work done? Yeah, but that also means I've learned things about procrastination from experiencing it so many times. One thing that I've realized over time is that you can't wait for motivation to magically show up. You know, a lot of people think motivation is the starting point. Like, once I feel motivated, then I'll start. But in reality, it works in the opposite order. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Like, ever notice how once you finally force yourself to start, even just a little, you kinda get into it? You start writing that essay, cleaning your room, or editing that video, and 10 minutes later you're actually vibing with it. That's because the act of doing something gives your brain a small win. It's like, oh, we're doing it, might as well keep going. This actually happens to me a lot. Like, once I start cleaning my room, once I start with just a couple little things that I put away, it's like I don't want to stop. I actually want to finish cleaning my room, even though just a minute ago, I had absolutely no desire to do so. The key is to trick yourself into starting, even if it is just for 5 minutes. Like, tell yourself, I'm gonna work on this for 5 minutes and see what happens. 9 times out of 10, you'll keep going once you get over that initial wall. One of the best things I ever tried was something called the tiny habits method, which I actually learned about from searching up how to deal with procrastination after it happened to me so many times. Basically, instead of setting massive goals like I'm gonna write a whole 10-page paper tonight, or I'm gonna work out for an hour, you shrink the goal to something super small. Like, I'll write 1 sentence, or I'll do 5 push-ups. So why does this actually work? It's because it kills the mental resistance that you have. And once you're in that motion, once you already start doing it, you have that momentum to keep doing it. Think of it like loading into a COD lobby. You don't start dropping nukes instantly. You have to start with the small kill streaks first, which is the hardest part. But once you have the Harrier, then getting the chopper gunner is not that hard. And once you have the chopper gunner, it leads to the nuke. Things in real life are the same way. Something else I learned is the difference between external and internal motivation. External is stuff like deadlines or grades. It works, but it's short term. Once the pressure's off, the drive disappears. Internal is when you find your why. Like, I want to learn this because it'll help me build something cool, or I'm going to the gym because I want to feel better and have more energy. When you can tie the thing you're doing to something you actually care about, it hits different. Suddenly you're not just grinding for the sake of it, you're building towards something. This can help to provide that initial motivation that gets you over the barrier. You know, once you start, you keep going. Another tip that I learned is that your environment matters more than you think, and it can even be more important than willpower. You know, if your room is cluttered and your phone's blowing up with notifications, and you've got 5 tabs open, you're setting yourself up to lose. So clean your space up. Use website blockers or screen time blockers if you have to. Put your phone across the room or in a different room, or put it on silent mode. Create a little routine that signals to your brain that now it's time to focus. Even wearing a certain shirt or playing the same playlist while you work can help lock in that focus. And the last thing is to not beat yourself up when you fall off track. We all procrastinate at some points. Even the most successful people have off days. What matters is not being perfect, but being consistent enough to keep coming back. It's okay if you miss one day. It's okay if you don't hit your goal. What's not okay is letting guilt convince you to give up completely. Progress isn't linear. It's messy at some points. You'll have weeks where you're on fire and others where you're in a slump. That's just normal. Just keep showing up when you can, take the small steps, and reset when you need to. Anyway, that's just some stuff that's been on my mind lately. If you're someone who's been struggling with procrastination or feeling unmotivated, just know that you're not alone. It happens to all of us. It doesn't mean that you're lazy or broken. So yeah, just try to start with small things. Focus on progress over perfection. And don't wait for motivation. Create it yourself by taking action. Yeah, that's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, a like or subscribe would be appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.